Good evening and thank you for joining me on Black News Tonight. I'm Marc Lamont Hill. Closing arguments beginning today in the trial of 3 white men accused of chasing Ahmaud Arbery down and killing him. Lawyers for the defendants each taking much of the time today in court to make their case. Martin Savage gives us the latest.
Ahmaud Arbery's mom, Wanda Cooper Jones, joining in prayer outside the courthouse before attorneys begin their final pitches to the jury. As Travis McMichael, his father Gregory McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan face murder charges and potential life in prison for the killing of Arbery, the state making their closing argument.
This case is really about assumptions and driveway decisions.
Then, one of the rare times race has been invoked in court.
They made their decision to attack Ahmaud Arbery in their driveways because he was a black man running down the street. What did Mr. Arbery do? He ran away for 5 minutes.
And reminding the jury the definition of a citizen's arrest according to the law.
They never, ever said on February 23rd, 2020, that they were doing a citizen's arrest. A citizen's arrest is for emergency situations when the crime really happens right in front of you.
Travis McMichael's defense attorney attempting to drive home the argument that his client was simply acting out of civic duty and responsibility.
Travis McMichael spent almost a decade of his life learning about duty and responsibility.
Arguing to the jury his, quote, duty was necessary that February day.
This neighborhood was being covered in suspicious persons, in extra watches, in neighborhood patrols, in concerned citizens.
Insisting Arbery's presence was suspicious.
There is no evidence whatsoever that Satilla Shores was a place of exercise and jogging for Ahmaud Arbery.
Gregory McMichael's attorney continued the theme Arbery was in the neighborhood up to no good, suggesting that was obvious by his appearance.
Does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
Laura Hogue repeated over and over that Arbery was to blame for his own death.
He was a recurring nighttime intruder, and that is frightening and unsettling.
And William Bryan's attorney, Kevin Goff, arguing there wouldn't even be a trial were it not for his client, his cell phone, and the video he took.
Roddy Bryan didn't shoot anyone. At the time of the shooting, he was some distance back. He was armed only with his cell phone.
Outside the courthouse, the number of protesters swelling with the presence of the new Black Panthers, including some members who are armed, something that drew the attention of defense lawyers on lunch break.
Closing arguments are expected to resume at 8:30 tomorrow morning. BNC will have continuing coverage and bring you the latest. More than 70 years after false allegations, a Florida judge has exonerated the Groveland Four. In 1949, 4 black men, Charles Greenlee, Walter Irvin, Samuel Shepard, and Ernest Thomas, were falsely accused of raping a white woman in Groveland, Florida. Following the accusations, Thomas and Shepard were both shot and killed. Irvin was also shot by a local sheriff, but he survived. Irvin and Greenlee were sentenced to life in prison, but later received parole. According to the grandson of one of the prosecutors, both his grandfather and the judge believed there was no rape committed based on the evidence. Relatives of the late Groveland Four now hope their exoneration will call for re-examinations of other cases from the Jim Crow era. A startling statistic about COVID-19 in the U.S. The number of deaths from this year has surpassed the number of deaths for all of 2020. As of Saturday, 770,800 deaths were recorded by Johns Hopkins University. Now, last year, only 385,343 deaths were reported. Experts say the Delta variant and low vaccination rates played a big role in those deaths. The CDC also suggests there was an undercount of COVID-19 deaths last year. In New Jersey, a school board is holding off on an elective American Studies course for high school juniors. And the reason? Wait for it now. Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. As reported by the local TAPinto Westfield, after listening to some parents express their concerns about the inclusion of Toni Morrison's famous novel in the curriculum of a junior level high school course on American Studies, the Westfield School Board voted 5-2 to table the decision. Joining me now is Matt Kadosh. He is the managing editor of the local TAPinto Westfield, and he joins us on Black News Tonight to discuss this, quite frankly, puzzling case here. Help me understand, welcome to the show, what are the parent and the board members exactly concerned about with Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, one of the most revered pieces of modern literature that we have?
Well, the parents got up at a school board meeting and started reading from one very specific scene in the book in which child sex assault is detailed from the position of the abuser. And that's why the parents objected to it. The school board is seeking more information on the book before approving this course's latest curriculum.
It's an interesting choice that they're making, and obviously if you read any passage out of context, you could find something problematic in it. And certainly there are pieces of Western canonical literature that are revered and unquestioned by those same board members and parents that also have graphic scenes in them. That's part of what it means to do literature. But I'm looking at statements from board members. What exactly are they saying? Because there are some who are pretty vocal here. What are their disagreements?
Well, primarily, the school board is seeking more information on the book before approving it, and before approving that particular course. Some school board members have as you mentioned, it was a 5-2 vote, so not everyone agrees. But the school board members who objected, strongly object to this very narrow, very narrow look at the book.
And those who are pushing back, because as you said, there are dissenting votes. What are the dissenters saying?
Well, the two school board members, including the one member, mentioned that it may not be in the purview of the school board to approve an individual book. The Board of Education's role is to oversee the school district and not necessarily get into the weeds. So that was one objection, and there didn't seem to be a great understanding of the significance of the novel at the school board meeting.
So it seems like, if I'm understanding you correctly, most of the pushback was less about offering a defense of the novel and more about a question of kind of jurisdiction over curriculum, a question of whether the school board has the power or not. It seems like, rather than saying, hey, this book actually should be included.
Well, that sounds pretty true to what went down at the school board meeting. I think we'll see a lot more of the other side, the arguments in favor of the novel's inclusion at the December 14 school board meeting, when they're anticipated to make a formal decision on this course.
Okay, and what's your guess about what the final decision is going to be on this course?
My guess is, if I had to guess, I'm going to guess they're going to approve it, but I can't say that. I'm not the school board, so I don't know what they'll do. But their statements last week were that they just want more information.
So the question that I have, and I appreciate your analysis here, or your reporting here rather, Is there a trend in the district? Is this something that's par for the course in this district, or is this something that's new? What's causing this type of pushback now, particularly for a book that's decades old?
That's a good question. I mean, we saw, I guess, several months before this, there was a Black History Month speaker who parents objected to. He was an Olympic athlete, and also more recently, parents objected to another book called Our Skin, which details race, but specifically in a way that's geared towards kindergartens, very young children, and the parents had raised objections to the age appropriateness of it.
The age appropriateness of talking about race, letting a kindergartner know that they have skin that is a particular color. This is a trend that I'm fascinated by. We're going to continue to cover it. Matt, thank you so much for your comments from the ground, keeping us posted. Hopefully we can talk to you soon again as we get closer to that December 14th date.